Have you ever scrolled past someone online and thought, damn, why does the brand just look so good? Like, it's clean, it's powerful, it's iconic, and somehow it just feels expensive. Yeah, happens to me all the time. The other day I was doing some research for a client. We were studying the branding of guys he wants to emulate. Think Daniel Dalen, Bruno Casanovas, that sleek, high status energy. And I realized something. These creators, they're not just posting content, they're engineering perception. If your brand doesn't look anywhere near your favorite YouTubers, and especially if you're afraid that if you try to take too much inspiration from them, you'll just look like a cheap knockoff, then this video is for you. There are 3 hidden reasons why some personal brands just look so damn good, even when you can't exactly explain why. So if you want your brand to feel magnetic, not just visible but inevitable, let's break this down. Here's the first thing elite personal brands do that most people miss. They don't just show what they do, they signal it emotionally. Daniel Dalen's got this muted luxury vibe. His brand feels young, fun, minimal, but also premium. What about Iman Gaji? He's loud money, power, and leadership. And the wizard list? She's soft luxury, femininity, spirituality, and dominance. Here's the key. You feel a brand before you even think about it. That is emotional signaling. It's not just what font you use or what color your background is, it's the vibe. So how do you find the right vibe for your brand? Well, you're gonna need to get honest with yourself and ask 2 questions. 1, how do you want to be perceived? Like, what do you want to be known for? And of course, this depends on your audience, your values, and what you're actually trying to do on YouTube or social media in general. Let me give you 2 quick examples. Do you know Simon Squibb? You've probably seen him on Instagram or TikTok. He's the guy who goes around London asking people what their dream is. Simon wants to be seen as a friendly, supportive mentor. He gives off that rooting for you at sports day energy, and that's on purpose. His content, his tone, the clothes he wears, everything about him supports that vibe. Now, what about Alex Hormozy? He pretty much wears the same outfit in every video. Why is that? Well, because his whole thing is, I've got bigger fish to fry than fashion. His brand is literally business, gym, deep work, and repeat. It's not a lack of effort, it's intentional minimalism to support his message. The second thing you need to ask yourself is, what makes you different? This is where most creators trip up. They take too much inspiration from their idols and they end up looking like cheap copies. There's a concept in the book Still Like an Artist that's really helpful here. No personal brand is 100% original. You're meant to take inspiration, but not from just one person. Take what you like from a bunch of creators and then remix it with something that is uniquely yours. Here's a great example. Everyone and their cousin is trying to copy Daniel Dalen right now. I'm sure you've noticed too, all these 20-year-old entrepreneurs making POV videos. And you know, some of them are good, but they try so hard to emulate Daniel that most of them just look like clones. Except for this guy, Jamie Robbins. He's clearly inspired by Daniel, like they're friends even, but you can see that he's brought in his own thing, which is his background in cinematography and color grading. His visuals feel crafted. You see the same documentation style as with Daniel, sure, but with Jamie's music, his editing, his pace, his aesthetic. That's how you build a brand that stands out. Not by being different just for the sake of it, but by owning your own unfair advantages and preferences. And here's another golden rule. You need to keep it stupidly simple. The best personal brands are easy to recognize and they're consistent. Think about it. Steve Jobs in a black turtleneck, Karl Lagerfeld's sunglasses, Anna Wintour's hairstyle. You could draw these guys with 5 lines and still know who they are. That is the goal with a personal brand. So start thinking about your clothes and accessories, including any statement pieces you want people to associate your brand with, your colors, your hairstyle, your tattoos, makeup, even your filming location, because yes, people do notice and remember environments. Then take it one step further and put everything in writing. Create a brand guide for yourself that you can refer back to every time you post. It should include any fonts you use, your music, editing and thumbnail style, tone of voice, like if you want to sound friendly, sarcastic, authoritative, etc. Any lingo or words that you use repeatedly. Think Ali Abdaal when he calls lazy people waste men, or how he always starts his videos with "Hey friends." And finally, all the elements of the visual identity of your brand. And this includes your color palette and anything related to how you show up visually, like the clothes you wear, for example. And also make sure that every element in your brand guide serves a purpose. Nothing should be random. For example, choosing yellow as your main color communicates something very different than choosing black. Just like filming your videos in a suit sends a very different message than showing up in a t-shirt. Always think about who's watching, what perception you want to create, and let your aesthetic choices reflect that. And by the way, if you're struggling to figure this out, like how to send the right message, I help creators do this every day in my YouTube incubator. We build personal brands that are magnetic, aligned with your idols, but still feel so you. So if that sounds helpful, you can book a strategy call via the link in the description. Now let's talk design, but not in a boring Canva tutorial kind of way. Here's something you need to know. Space equals status. The best personal brands breathe. They're not desperate, they're not chaotic, they're not throwing random stuff at you every second. Think about luxury brands. They use white space intentionally because it says, I don't need to fight for your attention, you're already here. Now look at Daniel's channel. His thumbnails are clean and uncluttered, usually just him, some breathing room and a clear POV. His banner and profile pictures are also minimal by design. Nothing feels cramped or chaotic, and that's intentional because elegance isn't loud, it's calculated. So next time you design a thumbnail, a landing page or a YouTube banner, ask yourself, does this feel like I'm trying too hard or does it feel like I've already won? And remember, less is more, always. And finally, last tip. This is where you go from cool account to personal branding pro. Repetition builds reality. The best brands feel like a universe. All their socials, their website, their newsletter, they all tell the same story and have a consistent aesthetic. There's no contradiction, no sudden, hey, I'm a completely different person on this platform energy. Take Iman Gaji, for example. His YouTube, his Instagram, his TikTok, his websites, they're all cohesive. They feel consistent and that creates trust. You want every single touch point with your brand to reinforce the same feeling, same energy, same aesthetic, same message. That's how you become memorable. That's how you start feeling inevitable. Your personal brand is like your alter ego. It's not fake, but intentional. It's the most powerful dialed-in version of you. And in a world full of noise, that level of clarity is what cuts through. So stop winging it. Start reverse engineering the creators you admire. Figure out what you like about their brand, what each element is saying, and remix it with your own voice. Add space and repetition, keep it super simple, and you'll build a brand that actually sticks. If you found this video helpful, please like it and consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. And if you've got any questions about building or refining your personal brand, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.